I'm setting up, boys. I'm setting up. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm just setting up a few things. And spamming a bit everywhere. The fact that we are streaming, so we get more viewers. Hello, Grimstone. Welcome. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? Let me maybe make a new mission. You remember that we had missions in the past where we had, goals and objectives, and I think we can do it again. Why not? Just have to find out where was that symbol. There it is. We have all our missions here. So let me create a new mission. Let me create a new mission. Let me show you my screen, by the way. You should see my screen in a second. Okay, there it is. Okay, so yeah, that was the issue we had with the integration of the Locomotion some time ago, but it's now fixed, so it is not a problem anymore. But I think we can keep it as a small picture as part of our mission. So our mission is to integrate advanced locomotion. Advanced locomotion is a plugin that I shown you already in the previous stream. So I think by now you should. Wow, that's pretty big. So we need to integrate advanced locomotion plugin into our code base, and the way to do it is to ensure that all the functions and methods of advanced locomotion are, let's say, properly migrated into our setup, right? So I think I have a summary of the classes somewhere. Let me search for it. One second. So I think we had a list of all the classes and description. Let me see where I have it. I should have a PS Unreal classes. There it is. Yeah, but I need to open it. Not here. I need to open it like in Paint is perfect. Okay, so these are the classes that we are using, right? So we have, and at the moment we are speaking. We are speaking about the character part mainly. So we have our base A character class, which is the one provided by Unreal. So this A character. And then we created a C++ class, which is our APS character, which contains most of the, let's say, basic property of our character. And then we created a blueprint derived from the C++ class, which is called PS character blueprint. So this one is the one that we have to modify. And so maybe we can copy. Let me just copy this. Actual 3D model. Yeah. Let me copy this in our mission. Okay. Wow, why so big? Oh, it's 200%. Okay. I thought it was smaller than this. So this is. I don't care too much for now about AI. So this is these are the character classes. I think we know it. So what I want to do, I want to have so these are the plane shift ones, right? So these are the ones related to our game, but we have okay, I can just draw it, who cares. So this stuff is the plane shift stuff, and we will have as well the advanced locomotion one. So the advanced locomotion, let me just see if you are typing something. Okay, I have to keep an eye on the chat. Hello, let me see if this chat's working. I think it is. It is? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. So the advanced locomotion one is built this way. So he has under blueprints, he has three main classes. So he has this ALS based character, which is the one that I think we need to migrate. Let me see if I can paste it. No. Exactly. So this guy, and this guy is yeah, this guy is containing the majority of the blueprints, right? And is containing the controls, so the one that you use for moving, but is also containing all the logic of the animations connected to the movement. Hello, Soup. Now the other one that I have is ALS interface. Now I don't know if I understand fully what ALS interface is doing, but for the time being, let's put it here. So we need to have this one ported as well, okay? And I don't know, I mean, this one I think can be just copy pasted. I mean, I think it, or even can stay exactly where it is. And then we have, you know, the example character, which now we changed it to our character, which is this mannequin character. So this one, I don't think we have to do anything on it because I think it's pretty much empty. Yeah. Then in addition to this, so that is what is about the, and if I do it a bit, yeah. So that is the advanced locomotion thingy, okay? You can call it ALC. There is the ALC thing. Advanced locomotion system, or ALS. ALS? I don't know, ALS. I think it's called ALS. It's also here in the. So this is ALS. This is basically plane shift. Okay. Let me just remove this because I don't like it. So we need to understand which of those blueprints we need to move between the two systems, right? And unfortunately, in a real engine, there is not really a way to copy paste functions. I mean, full functions into another blueprint. So we will have to do it kind of manually somehow. But I mean, we can still copy paste the majority of the nodes. What we cannot paste is the function names, which I think we have to replicate. So that's a bit annoying, but that's it. Now let's see what else is into this system. So there are some maps, but the maps definitely we don't need. One map, for example, is this one, right? One map is this one. By the way, there is a trigger for walk and run. Okay, so basically this system has three velocities. So as the walk, the run, and the sprint, right? I don't know if you want the 3 velocity because at the moment in plane shift I don't think we have, but I think we can keep it, right? We can keep the 3 velocities, and then yeah, and then use them as needed. So the maps we don't need. right? The meshes, this is just the meshes that makes the level. We don't need the materials as well. There is some audio files, mainly for, I think, the background noise. Yeah, it's just the background noise, so we don't really care. And then there is audio for footsteps. And then there is a different noise. Okay, it's making different noise when it's in... no, it doesn't look like. Let me see if it makes a different noise, maybe. No, I make that other noise when it's skidding on the ground, when it's changing direction. Yeah. There is, when it's changing direction, it's doing this kind of movement, this kind of sound. Okay, anyway, we don't need the sound, so all the audio we don't need. So for blueprints, we said we only need these two. Characters we don't need because we have our own characters. We have the animations, but I think the animation already getting retargeted, and so we have our own set. So we don't need to move. Maps we said no. Miscellaneous, I don't know what is this two. What are these two things? I don't think we need it. So under blueprints there is a lot of stuff. There are all these camera shake. Okay, there is a camera system which is allowing the camera to follow the character in a good way and also accelerate and give a bit of a movement, effect when you are sprinting. But I don't know if we need that. But I think we can leave them exactly in this folder. I don't think we need to move it. You're curious about the ragdoll system. The ragdoll system is actually included. The problem is that at the moment we don't have physics, or we don't have proper physics associated to our character. So if I try to ragdoll the character, it's just flying to the sky like this. It's flying forever to the sky. The reason is that we don't have any physics volumes defined. I tried to define some physics volume, and the result was better, but still not fully correct, because I think that the physics volume have to be have to be properly made. So, but there is a kind of a ragdoll system included already into advanced locomotion, which by the way is just calling then the Unreal Engine ragdoll system. And so it's not something that is made specifically or new. So I think all the stuff that is under curves, like animation blender curves, camera layer curves, transition curves, I think I will not touch. I think we need all of this. These are all the curves that are used, for example, when you are turning, and so is like blending the animation using these kind of curves. Okay. Enumeration, I have no idea. I think that is used probably through the blueprints, like backward, forward. Yeah, that's very simple enumerations that are locomotion, stat, moving, not moving, stopping. Okay, these are all enumeration. There is also a weapon type. I don't know why. Pistol, rifle, launcher, hammer. I think it is probably for future expansions. By the way, they are working on Advanced Locomotion version 4 right now, which is probably, I mean, it will allow also climbing and few other stuff. So if we can use this plugin instead of reinventing the wheel, I think we should. Because anyway, it's a lot of work behind the scenes to make this work properly, and I think we should not reinvent it. Yeah, standing, crouching. I think all of these stances are still valid, so for us is not a problem. I think the part that we can exclude is the camera, because we have our own camera, and I don't think we need to mess up with that camera. Okay, so So I think that's all. So there is nothing else apart from what is inside of here. There is no other blueprint, no other function to move. So let's go with the easiest one first, the mannequin character. I think inside the mannequin character there is very little. Yes, exactly. Actually, the event graph is completely empty. The construction script only has this graph, which is the one I made, and is basically the one that keeps a reference. Let me just see if we have, yeah, we have all the variables already. So keeps a reference of the different sub-meshes to the main mesh, connecting the main mesh of the torso with the legs, the feet, and such, so that it works properly. So this one we already have in our character. So basically, I would say for the mannequin character, there is nothing to migrate, right? So for this one, we can say that there is nothing to migrate. So we can say no actions needed, nothing needed, no porting needed. Okay, so there is nothing inside of this, which is nice. So which leaves us with these two other classes. So ILS interface, I think that it can stay as it is and is not getting merged. So that is just ported as it is, or say it stays where it is. So it's we can consider it keep as is. So no changes needed. No changes needed. The hard one is this one, because this one has a significant amount of let me just save this file maybe. If I can save it under where was that? D E yes is here. We can save it as real mission advanced locomotion. Okay. So the one that really needs work is this one. Now I think we should expand this one to include everything we need. And I think on this one there is a lot. Okay, so I think my suggestion is just to be sure that we are working in a good way. Maybe we can color, the areas that we need to port, and the one that we don't need to port, and the one that we already ported. So maybe we can have something like red color. We can have something like red color, something that we can I have it filled out? Red color. I think we can have a red color, orange color, and green color. Right? You can have 3 states so that we are sure that we are properly tracking what we are doing. And very simply, the red will be not needed, right? Not needed. Let me just do this black. This will be not needed. This will be to be ported, and this will be ported. Okay. So we will color in the graph, right? We will color in the graph in such a way so that we know what we are doing and which pieces we are missing and which pieces we need to do. I don't know just for the functions how to do it, but I will think about it, because the functions in theory are I mean, I cannot really color those functions, but okay, so let's go one by one. So where do we want to start? Unfortunately, there's so much to this class that it's hard to. So we have events, which are divided in two, and functions, which are divided in these two. Events, which are divided in these two main graphs. So event graph and input graph. Then we have some functions, and some specific function dedicated to advanced locomotion system. Then we have some macros. There's a lot of stuff, boys. And then we have, okay, just the components that are part of the character, should not be a big difference. And then we have some variables, right? Variables, I think there is quite a bit. We will have to copy all these variables on the other side. So probably the best is to start from here. The best is probably to start from. Unfortunately, there is not something like copy. I cannot copy this to another blueprint. I found there is a plugin that does this, but this plugin is I mean, it's a bit of a mess to install. I have to recompile the engine. To install it, I have to recompile the engine. Recompile the engine will take like a few hours. So I mean, I don't know, 1 hour or so. So I'm just evaluating now if it's easier that I just copy paste these values, or is there a way? I mean, is there a simple way to? Because is there a simple way? Because I will have to copy. No, I will have to copy also the default value. So it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. I will have to copy all these variables. Wow. It's like 50 or so or more. There's also some debug stuff. Yeah, all of those I will have to copy. But it's okay. I mean, I think we can do it. The point is, I should. Yeah. So there are basically three pieces, right? If you want to discuss about what is needed, there are basically three pieces. So there are graphs, which are mainly events. Maybe make it a bit smaller. So there are like graphs and events that we have to copy. Then there are functions, and then there are, oops, here I'm on top of that. Then there are macros. And variables. So all of that is the stuff that we have to copy to ensure that our character is having the same functionality as the advanced locomotion system. Wow, it's quite a bit, huh? You ready for it? I don't know if I'm ready for it. No, not here. Boom. Okay. So that's the stuff, right? That's the stuff we need to do. That is the stuff we need to do. Graphs, events, function. I think we need to start from variables, because the variables are then used in all the functions and events. So if we don't start with that, I think we will not. I mean, the thing will not work. The thing will not work. Okay. Okay. By the way, we are also streaming on Twitch. So at the same time, we are streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. But all the recordings of the video are on YouTube. Okay, so where the hell do we start? Okay, let's start from here. So, but basically we have to flow all this stuff into this class, right? Yeah, we have to flow into which class? Into APS character, into this class. So all the stuff that we are doing needs to be migrated from here to here. Yeah, from here to here. Why we do it here? No, sorry, mistake. From here to here. Why we need to do it here? Because PS character is the one that contains the first of all is a blueprint. I don't like this app. First of all is a blueprint, and second is the one that all our characters, like here, are inheriting. And so we have, let me just check if we have in our classes, like the Dermorian, let's take just one of our classes and see. If I take characters, now I have to go under characters here, and I take, for example, the cran. So what do we have? Oh, I have another blueprints. If I take, for example, the cran character, right? The first thing that I see, okay, this is the wrong one. Yeah, I have to copy the construction script here, but then everything else can go to the PS character blueprint. Okay, which is the one. Yeah, so okay, let's start to copy stuff. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I want to copy this. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can copy this into my cran character. Let me try to copy it down here just to see if it's okay. All this should point to the right references. Even if I see, you see that they are gray. Yeah, because I think for some reason those were called differently. So we need to reuse. So it's a bit of a mess actually. So it's a bit of a mess. Is it easier for me if I just redo it? If I just redo it. Yeah, probably it's easier for me if I just redo it. Let me do this. Let me keep this one. Move it to the right. Then delete all this stuff. Because all those one need to be remade. And this one as well. Then the good ones are this one. So I think I can just copy, I can just move those like head, torso, plate, hands. I can go one by one, it's fine. Arms, eyes, feet, and legs. Then the mesh, I can remove, and I can attach this mesh here. Then I can move, I think, this wall thingy. Wait, this one should go here. This one I can delete because now is connected to this. I can move all of this up, right? Okay, so now is how it should be. And then I should just connect this one to here, maybe with a reroute, just to keep it clean. All of this can go away. Okay, and now we basically ported it. Okay, we ported it here, and yeah, it's a bit of a mess in terms of graphics, but I don't think I can improve it too much. I mean, I can do something like this and this, just to make it a bit cleaner. Okay, do you feel it's a bit cleaner? I don't know, but okay, so all the settings are here, and it is my sequence, so this should be correct already. Okay, so this part should be fine. This is the only thing that we need to port. Sorry, I forgot to connect the targets. So all of this has to be connected, otherwise okay. Yeah, we are connected to Subversion, so we need to check out stuff when we. Okay. Now, basically, what this script does is just to keep the pieces of our character together, right? So, if you see here, we have a torso, we have arms, we have hands and legs, and head and eyes. So all these pieces, you know, are I cannot click on the eyes. Are separate skeletal meshes, but we want them to act as a single character, and so we need in the construction script that kind of a set master pose component. Okay, so okay, now, so I don't think we need to change anything else in the construction script of this character for now. Now we will have to do it. We will have to do it on all the other characters. So it's a bit of an annoying thing, but we have to do it. I think we can do the null flare female, which is the one that we will test next. So this character you see has the same mistake. I don't know if any of you is working with Unreal, but I found this tutorial in the main website of Unreal, but this one, which is basically telling you how to work with modular characters, and it's telling you to connect, you know, the pieces like this, and this is exactly what I did. But to me, that is actually not working. I mean, it's not working for me. So the only way I can do it is by multiplying the nodes as I shown you, right? So if I multiply all the nodes, so I have one function call for each of the pieces, then it works. So I think I can do the same. I can probably just copy, you know, this wall thing. Yeah, let me copy this wall thing and put it here, and then we will just substitute it to this one. I just have to remove all of those, all of these, and this one. Then mesh is correct, but then I need to connect these pieces. The best would be to do it in every character, right? We have one mesh more here. We have one mesh more. No, sorry, this is the mesh, this is the okay. So now I need to connect to the target, all of those, exactly like we did for the other character. Exactly the same. And then I need to connect this one here, and the first one I connected already, so it should be fine. Okay. So also this one I should have the proper setup. I will save it. It will ask me to check out. Okay. Done. By the way, if you have any questions, I mean, let's keep it interactive. So if you have any question, let me know. And okay, so what's next? Now, what's next? I think we need to start porting really the bulk. So what we did the construction script, okay, which was anyway needed. Now we need to do these pieces: graphs, event, function, macros, and variables. Let me maybe highlight the ones that we need to port and the one that we should not port. Well, in terms of variables, I think we need them all, right? So I think we need to create in our so we can close this too because they are not needed anymore. We need to open our PS character blueprint, This one is already big enough, but I think we will, improve the organization of these variables somehow. I think we should group them. You see that these variables are somehow now all together, and it's not a great idea. So I think we need to create new groups and group them. But for sure, I want to create, like is in the other one, an advanced locomotion system tab kind of thingy. Not exactly how to rename it or change it, but let me just check how this is done. Category, yes, a slash. Okay, that is interesting. So if you want to create a subcategory, you can just have advanced locomotion system slash, forward slash, and then no, it's a pipe. What is it? I think it's a pipe. Yeah, it's a pipe. Pipe input, pipe essential. Okay, good. Is there a way I can copy this? Yes, I can. Okay, nice. At least I can copy the name, so it's not that crazy. So for example, we have a first boolean. So let me try to create it here. Okay, so I create a new variable, and this new variable should be called should sprint. And by the way, we do this once only, okay, and then it's valid for all the characters. So we do this porting once. I know it's annoying, but so if I copy this here now, my variable, right? Yes, perfect. You see, it created advanced locomotion system and it created input below it. So yeah, so I think it's doable. It's not very fast, but I think it's doable. I think I can create. Let me think. What is the easiest one? If I change this as a float. Hello, why can't I name it? Okay, I don't know. I had to press F2. And I copy this. Yeah, it will take me a bit. I'm just trying to see if there is a better way, but I think at this point I can just duplicate. So if I go here and I duplicate, I think it will create it just here, and so it's faster. So we need 4 variables, and we just need to copy the names. If any of you has an idea that there is a better way to do this or faster way to do this, please let me know, because it's not very fun to do this copy thingy. So the only thing I want to be sure is that the default value is correct, right? So it's the same. So should sprint as a default is false. Here we have some values. We have 150, 150, 0 and 0. So I think we should replicate exactly the same values. So 150, 150, 0 and 0, right? Now, I don't know if there are any other properties that we need to change, but I don't think so. Everything else is fine. Okay. So we have our input variables completed. Now we need to do the essentials, okay? So we have a movement input, which is actually a vector. So we can just add a new variable, call it movement input, and change it to vector. And then this one also I need to put in the same category, right? I want to see the default value of this one. This one is 0, 0, 0, 0, so okay, so I think it's fine. So it's just a placeholder. Now what I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. Let's do all the float first, okay? So I need to add to duplicate, so I will duplicate and then I will make it a float, so at least we don't have to change, you know, the type all the time. And we start to copy all of this. Even if this one it shows as aim, you see, aim Joe. So I think it's something that at the moment we are not using, but I don't care. Let's put them all. I want to put them all because I want to be sure, you know, that the system is properly working. Um, they're already falling all into the same category because doing the duplicate, you know, is pretty easy. It keeps the same. It keeps the same type, object type. I mean variable type, and the same location, right? So we did all the essentials. Now we have to do this one, which is a rotator. Okay. We can still duplicate, make it a rotator. Now we will have to check that we are not messing up with the default values, because at the moment I'm not looking much at the default values. So this one we need 4. So let me duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Okay. Let me copy this. I mean, another way would have been obviously to have the ALS base character as a superclass, you know, as a father of my class. But as you have seen, I already have a lot of classes. I mean, I have the base character, the C++, the blueprint, and the, so I don't want to add in the middle, you know, another class just for movement. And why I don't want to do it? Because we already have in our PS character blueprint some of the movement, so I want to be sure that we are not duplicating stuff, but we are, you know, we are keeping it in sync. I think we should do a pass on all the default value at the end. Maybe I will keep this in another screen and just look, you know, at, yeah, I think it's probably easier if we do all the default values at the end. Okay, it's already complaining. Why is complaining? Can parse default value 000 property direction. Why don't like my 0 the default value? Okay, now we like that. I don't know. I just need to refresh it somehow. Okay. What else? There is an is moving. There are 2 booleans. Okay. Let's add also the 2 booleans. I don't think it will take too much. I mean, it's taking time, but it's, you know, kind of reasonable. With this trick of copying inside the same folder, we don't have to get mad and get crazy about copying stuff. So okay, so we have our 2 booleans. We will do a check on all the default values later on. What else? We have these state values. Okay, these are of type. Okay, this one starts to be of type which is actually a enumeration. But anyway, we have it in our project, so it should be okay. I don't think it will be a problem, right? Let me try. So if I search here ALS gate, yes, you see we have it already because it's already imported in the same project, so it's fine. The only thing I need to do, I need to copy the category, because the category, okay, easy. Now that that we have this, we need 3, 4, 5 more. We need 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need 1 boolean. Okay, so this one will be a boolean value. Now let's just copy. So gate. I don't know how to pronounce that. So we copy this. We copy the rotation mode. Now I think we will try also to simplify the system a bit. I don't think we need, the full system in place. I think we can go with a simplified version. Okay. So we copied all of that as well. Nice. Now what do we need? We still have quite a number to go. Rotation system. By the way, all these ones have a different type. Yes, each one has the type equal to its name. So this one will never work. So I need to change to ALS underscore stance. I need to change this to ALS underscore rotation mode. I need to change this to ALS underscore movement mode. This one ALS rev. I think this one is still movement mode. Right. Yes. And then the last one is view mode. So ALS view. Oh, for example, this one we will not use because the view, I think we will use our own, our own view. Okay, nice. So this one is set properly. Now, what I was saying that we need this cardinal direction, which is of type cardinal direction as well. So we add a new variable, call it why new function? No. I clicked on the wrong one. New variable cardinal direction. This one is of type ALS cardinal. Okay, just called cardinal direction. And this one we want to put in this category. Okay, so we have our cardinal direction as well. Now we need 2 of type rotator. So we do duplicate. This one we can change it to rotator. And now we duplicate again. I just need to find the right name. Is jump rotation. Okay. Now we need 2 of type float. So this one becomes a float. Duplicate it, and the second name is rotation rate multiplier. So here the category is already correct. Then here I need, I need quite a number. 3, 6, 9, 10. We need 10 new variables. I think we can duplicate this and then just change the folder. Okay, so you see, and now we need 10. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I need 9 because 1 was already there. Okay, so we need to copy all these names. running speed, walking speed, sprinting speed. These are all default variables that I think we will not use anyway because we have our own system for movement, but maybe we may start to adapt it, you know, and use it the way it is used here. So I think it's walking acceleration. I mean, all of that is stuff that I'm not sure yet if we will use, but if you want to copy, you know, the full set of blueprints, we need the same variables to be there, otherwise the copy paste will just not work. We will just complain that we are missing some variables and stuff. So okay, two more. If any of you have an idea of a better way to do this, like a simpler way to copy between blueprints, let me know. Okay. Okay. So, just a second. Okay, so I was just had to look at something else. Okay, so we did our let's compile it. We copied all these variables. Now we will have to do a pass on all the default values because I think default values are anyway meaningful. Now there is a camera system. Actually, camera system, I think we don't need it. Now it's not a lot of variables, but I think I will not port the camera system, so we can avoid this one. Okay. Now we have debug. Okay, this one we need to port. So let me try to do again duplication. Then I change the name. Then I change the location. Come on. Okay. No, sorry. Okay, so under debug, and this one is a boolean, right? And then we have another boolean which is show settings. Duplicate show settings. Okay, so we have our debug variables as well. We're nearly pretty much at the end. We are pretty much at the end. Then there is another one which is pelvis bone, which is actually a name. Which is a name. Okay. And this one goes into a different category, which is this one. Okay. And then we need ragdoll. Ragdoll at the moment we are not using, but I would say let's port it because we may decide to use it. Okay. We may decide to use it, so why not? I really like the fact that you can organize all the variables like this, so it keeps, you know, the variables very clean. I think our list of variables that you see here are quite messed up, so I think we should improve this organization. We had some variables at the top here which were well organized, like the vitals, for example, the UI, the components. I mean, we had a lot of stuff that was already well organized, but okay, let's go with the ragdoll. So there is a boolean after this. Okay. Then we have two which are vectors. So one vector and another vector. One is called ragdoll location and the other one is called ragdoll velocity. Okay, so yeah, it was a bit annoying. I don't know how much time it took. It took about, I don't know, 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but we did it. Okay, so we copied all the variables. Now we should do one pass in which we are trying to see if the let me see if I can move this to another window. If I can move it to another window, yes, I did it. I moved it on my right screen, right? So I can just click here and then go to the other screen and click here and try to compare the values. So default value is off. Okay. Default value is 150. Correct. Default value is 150. Then there are two which are 0, 0, 0. Okay. Then movement input. This one is all zeros. Okay. Then we have Joe. Let me see. We have Joe, which is 0, 0, 0, 0. These are all 0, right? Nice. So these one are all 0, so they are correct. Character rotation. Also, these are all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so all these ones, so they have no default value. Last movement has no default value. Let me see. Is moving, is off, and as movement input is off. Okay, so all these ones are correct. Now let me check those ones. Gate. Gate, how do you say this word? I don't know. Default is running, so as a default they have it running. Stance, they have it standing. Rotation mode, they have velocity direction, yes, it's the same. Movement mode, they have grounded. Okay, grounded. Previous movement mode, they have none. Okay, nice. View mode, that is third person, and then ILS aiming is off. Okay, the only thing that I see is that some of these variables are actually exposed outside these blueprints, in particular this one and the first two. I don't know if it makes a big difference here, but then let me check the other ones. Cardinal direction. Cardinal direction is north. Okay, it's already correct. Target direction, jump rotation, everything else is 0. No, this one is 1. Okay, this rate multiplier is actually 1. All the rest is 0. Walking speed. This one may have some values. By the way, all these ones are exposed outside the blueprint, so let's make them all visible. So walking speed is 165 for whatever reason. Okay. Running speed is 375. Sprinting speed is 600. You see, so here you can change the speed, and crouching speed is 150. Walking acceleration is 800. So all these values have to be set. Running acceleration is 1000. And walking deceleration is 800. And running deceleration is 800. And walking ground, this thing is 8. I'm just copying it from the other screen. And running friction is 6. Okay. Oops, I wrote 7, 6. 6. Okay, nice. Now let me see what's up with the others. So camera we don't have. Show traces. These are all default to false. I need to compile. They're all default to false. Rectal velocity. They still have to be compiled. Pelvis bone, I have a 0. Actually, the name is pelvis, so I need to change this. Type pelvis, okay. Then this ragdoll stuff, ragdoll pose. These are names, so ragdoll pose, ragdoll on ground is off. Ragdoll location and ragdoll velocity, everything is 0 and 0. So these are okay, so this should be fine. Nice. So we entered all the variables and we set up properly all the default values, right? which is pretty cool. Now, now that we basically did all the variables. There are no other variables. There are a few more. Let me bring back this. There are a few more. That is just the camera system, but at the moment we don't need. We don't have any event dispatcher, and so we should have. There are some components, but these components I think are exactly the same as we have already. So macro. Wow, so many macro, boys. So many macro. Macro. A macro exactly? I don't know what is it. I never use macro. Did you use macro? Never used it. Let me search for macro here and see what it says. Blueprint macros or macros are essentially the same as collapsed graphs or nodes. They have an entry point and an exit point designated by tandem nodes. Each tandem node can have a number of execution data points which are visible in the macro. Okay. I mean, the difference is that they are maybe like inline code or something. Okay, it's just telling you how to do it. Okay, you create a macro, input and output, and you set the output. Okay, I don't really care about this too much. To give your blueprint macro some function. Okay, here you do your stuff. Unlike functions, macro can have more than one output execution pin. More than one output? I don't know, it's saying that you can have multiple output, but here I see only one output. So why is saying that you have multiple? No idea. Okay, I think we need to do macros next because macros should be pretty much self-contained, you know. And now, so this sequence is a wrong sequence, by the way. The correct sequence is variables, then macros, then I don't know, between functions and events, I don't know, because one can call the other. Usually is events calling functions, so functions should probably be next, and graphs event should be the last one. That's the, yeah. I think it should be, so the sequence, I think it should be something like this. They are not perfectly in line. Oh no. Okay, so I think it should be something like this, right? I think also macro is not perfectly in line. Okay. So we did variables. We're going to do macro now. Okay, boys? You ready? Someone is writing to me. So I'm just telling a friend that I'm live streaming because he's speaking to me. Okay. So I just told one friend that I'm live. I'm live streaming. Okay, we are back. So macros. Wow, there is no way to copy all these freaking macros. Holy moly. That's quite a number, eh? That's quite a number, but we are not scared about it, right? Let me see, input, exit. We also have to copy input and output. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? Switch is moving, switch is movement, switch is playing role, which ls can. What are these functions doing actually? Input ls stance, switch on ls stance, output standing and crouching. I mean, what? I mean, why you have to do a function, a macro like this? Can you just put this same code in the place where you want to do it? I mean, what's the matter? What? It's a bit weird actually. Let me find references of this. I mean, okay, like for example here is doing switch ALS stance is getting as an input a movement mode or whatever, grounded. But bro, isn't the same? I mean, it's exactly the same. I mean, what is the difference between this graph, this graph and the other graph and this graph? I mean, is it much worse to have it this way? I don't get it. Just because you saved this one? Maybe just because you saved this one, huh? I don't know. Hmm. Okay. Sorry, one second. I'm getting distracted. Okay, so this guy created a million macro just to avoid adding this single node. Really? I can ask the question. I mean, I can ask the question in their channel. They have actually a Discord channel where they are supporting this, but I mean, what's the point of creating a million macro? Maybe because it's a bit cleaner. Like you don't have to do like you don't you have one node less. You have one node less. I don't know. This means that we have to create 1 million macro. Okay. Anyway, we have no way out. Otherwise, we will have to change all these graphs, and it will be impossible, right? I will not be able to change all of this. It's impossible. So there is no way. I need to go under macro and copy somehow all these macro. There is no chance. There is no chance, boys. So let me see what is the easiest way. The easiest way, I do new macro. Oh yeah. I do new macro, I come to the screen, okay. What do I name it? Categories witches. Okay, categories witches is easy. This one I can copy. But then, is there anything else to put in? Yes, I need to put in inputs and outputs. Oh my god, this would become insane, bro. Exec. What is exec? Execution pin. I have no idea what is an execution pin. Do you know what is an execution pin? Select the variables pin type, current type exec. What is an exec variable? Do you know it? You know it, boys? I mean, it's not listed here. Maybe it's only for macro. Boys, I have no idea what is this exec type. Actually, it's a variable type. Exec functions. Exec functions are pretty cool and super useful. Okay. Let you call a function into command line. That is something else. I don't know what is this exec thingy. So basically here we select exec. Execution pin. Execution pin. I have no idea what is it. Kind of a callback. I don't know. I mean everything. If I look here, everything is exec. It's like if it's a a generic one. The problem is that what I'm realizing, they will take me forever to do this job with the macros. Take me forever to do this because I will have to do like something like that. So I have to copy input output and then I need to copy. What if I copy the whole thing? Give me 1 second. Maybe there is a chance that I can just copy the whole thing. No, I copy only the middle. You see? Obviously, copy only the middle. So execution seems to be, not a variable, but just yeah. But copying this stuff will take me forever, boys. It's like 1 minute. It will take me like 1 hour. Wow. I think I don't know because maybe less, but we did one, right? We did one macro, which by the way still have to be named properly. I need a way to copy this stuff. I cannot do it like this. I mean I can, but it will take me forever. I think execution just means that is going through, is passing. I mean, it's not passing any value. It's just going through. It's just following that path. That's the only thing that it's doing, I think. So it's not a variable. It's just an execution route. It's just the way it moves here in the graph. But boys, we need a better way. We need a better way. We cannot. I need to copy the macro. I need to copy macro between blueprints. I mean, They really need to do this. I mean, it makes no sense that there is no way to copy feature requests. Right click, copy paste function signature. Yeah, that would be a good one already, but in general, yeah, there is this one, plugin property transfer tool. There is this one, which is the one that I was looking for. That I was looking before, which is allowing you somehow to transfer some of the variables, but is only allowing you to transfer variables, for what I understand. A property transfer tool. Yeah, it selects the source blueprint and the target blueprint, and then it clicks here and but for the variables is easy, you know, we did it. It was not too hard at the end. The problem is that it's working only on variables, I think. This tool is now freely available to download the marketplace. It's doing only property. It's very nice. It's very, very nice, but it's doing. You're saying functions are supported, macros are supported? This is starting to be interesting. Okay, we need this. You know, the only problem that we have is that I think we need to recompile the engine. But I think it's probably the easiest way, because if I have to copy manually, boom. I mean, it would take me forever. I think. Okay, let's try to work on. Let's try to check this plugin. Okay, property transfer tool. Okay, it's on the marketplace, which is nice. I think I downloaded it already. My issue was that I tried to download it, and then when I was in the Epic launcher, I didn't have a way. I think my issue here is that, okay, I have it here, install to engine. You cannot install this plugin as there are no compatible engines installed. Please install a compatible engine and try again. Fuck you. Yeah, the problem is that because my engine is a compiled engine from source code, and so it's not seeing it as how do I freaking, can I download it manually? How do I get it? Or how do I ignore this engine plugin? This product contains a code plugin complete with pre-built compiler source code integrated into an engine. You can install an engine version of your choice. Can I how do I skip this? So I have it, but I don't have it. I mean, I have it, but I cannot. What the hell? How do I? Okay. Maybe someone is asking the same question here. or I can ask the question. But this has been missing and a great improved fast prototyping, etc., etc. Epic just released a plugin for Unreal 421. I mean, is it embedded now or something? I don't understand. What does it what does it mean? No, it's still a plugin anyway. Um, I mean, this guy did something very nice, but the problem is that we need to know how to install it without a standard engine. They say there is the source code as well, but you know, how do I get it? I mean, I can get it through like I can download it like this, but it's asking me to open it with the Epic Game Launcher. And okay, but there is no way for me to get. I just need the source code and I can compile it, maybe. It is so annoying, brosk. Do you know how to do it? You cannot install this plugin as there is no compatible engine installed. Hmm. Hmm. You cannot install this plugin as there is no what? As there are no compatible engines installed. Fuck it. Yeah, you have to go to GitHub. So what they are saying is that if you want to install it from custom source, you have to go to GitHub and get it. But I don't have the GitHub URL to this plugin, right? Which is the problem. Do you have an idea how to fix it, boys? Actually, it should be stored somewhere because it's saying that it download. I have it downloaded, so I have it on my machine. The problem is that I don't know where is it, but I have it downloaded somewhere. I mean, it's here somewhere for sure. Under engine plugins, but I don't think the Unreal Engine, the source code is. I think it's under the launcher somehow. Let me see if there is a engine engine plugins marketplace. Engine plugins. It doesn't even exist. Marketplace doesn't even exist. So he downloaded it somehow, but I don't know where he put it, you know. Because I think I downloaded it, you know. It's saying just installed when, so it should be somewhere in the Epic launcher. What the fuck is this Epic launcher thing? Epic launcher. Open file location. Okay, thank you. That I know. There is a. So it's here anyway. C program files, Epic game launcher, Win32 something. Let me see if we can. Let me see if we can. No, it's just the launcher. I think he has plugins. No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could search on my wall PC with this name, right? But I can search it on GitHub. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, not the name of the plugin. The plugin is called Property Transfer Tool. So I can search. The problem, I don't know if he has, you know, different pieces to it, but Property Transfer Tool. RM Pasha, I think it's this guy. Nah. Boys, can I search it on? Property Transfer Tool is maybe it's private. I don't know. I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I think I have a login anyway here somehow, but how the hell do I install it? How the hell do I install it, boys? Everyone loves it, but I mean, I could download an engine which is compatible, but that's pretty annoying. I mean, I will have to, you know, I will have to, because at the moment it feels I don't have an engine installed. You see, it says not installed Unreal Engine 423. It's saying that I don't have it. But it's just because I have, you see here, I have a 422 set current. If I do set current, what does it do? Yeah, I think there is no way to point the launcher to a compiled engine. I think you can point it to any engine you have, but you have to download the engine, and it's a binary version of it. But if you compile it by yourself, you say it's here. This thing is here. You cannot install this, but there's no compatible engine. Please install a compatible engine. So the only thing I could do in theory is to go here and say install in another directory a 422. The problem is that it will like download like 3 million, you know, gigabytes, and then I mean I can click on install, and I can install the 422, and then at that point it will install it for me. But it's so annoying, bro. It's so annoying. I mean, it will download forever. I mean, I can do it, but then the launcher will finally see that there is an engine version. You know that there is an engine. Can I trick this thing? I would like to trick this thing somehow. Set current. I would like to trick it somehow. How do I trick it? How do I trick it? Telling him that what is if I do X here? Well, I actually want to uninstall Unreal Engine 223. I mean, it's not installed. You're stupid. Set current. Create shortcut. Verify. Remove. Can't remove it, but I can create a new one. 21. Can click on install. Choose installation location. Cancel. In theory, now here it says there are like 2 installed. I don't know why. You see, it's seeing like. But if I go here, it's still saying that I have no engine installed. So it's not that stupid. It's stupid, but not that stupid. Fortunate. Let me close it and open it again. Just a second. Just a second. Tough life, huh, boys? I think this plugin can save us a lot of time, but it seemed that, you know, to have it, I need to install another engine, which seems to be very stupid to me. It still sees this too, but this one is still saying that you cannot install it because there are no compatible engine installed. Ah! What if I start the installation, but then I don't install it? I mean, I don't install it fully. I should install it like under F for sure. I mean, not under under F, and I can go under whatever. I can create under F just a random directory. I can just do F and EU422. But if I click on install, apart from the fact that I don't know if it's messing up my path and all my stuff, but hopefully not. Core component, starter con, I mean the minimum possible. Engine source. If I remove engine source, I think it will not work. But let's see. Let me remove everything. $10 GB anyway. If I click on install, what is doing? Initializing. I mean, if I could install now my freaking prototype thingy. Install plugin. Slot to add plugin. Yeah. Do it, bitch. Sorry for the language. Queued. It says queued. It said queued. So it's waiting. It's waiting the installation to finish. Okay. So I think the only way to get it is to let me see if it's installing something. I have too many drives. Yeah, it's installing it here. It's downloading it. The problem is that imagine that I have the engine, okay, and then I click on install. Then how do I know what he actually installed and how to move it? You know, I mean, assuming that is all under plugins in a kind of a very clear one directory thing, okay, then fine. But if it's scattered around in multiple directories, then how can I do this? The problem is that now it will take forever. I mean, it's downloading quick. It's downloading at 5 megabytes per second, but it's downloading very quick. Maybe the stream is getting bad. Hmm. How do I know the progress? Can I at least see the progress of this thingy? Cannot see it, huh? So we don't know. I mean, this thing is nice, but downloads. I see it, see it, see it, see it, see it. Okay. So we are at 500 megabytes of 3 giga and 4 and 8. So will take quite a bit. Will take quite a bit, boys. Will take quite a bit. Property transfer to. Yeah, can I prioritize this? I would like to download this one. You see, this one is queued. I would like to install this one before. Please. I don't care if it's not compatible. I don't care. How can I say Unreal Engine ignore incompatible engine version? I don't know. I don't know if anyone. I'm very surprised that no one has this issue before. So is people only using the engine by? I mean, without doing any modifications to it. I mean, not by sources. It's so weird. So most of the people are not compiling the engine, are just using it as it is. Maybe. Install plugin, ignore version, ignore engine version, engine version. Yeah, the launcher doesn't recognize version already installed. This is my problem. I don't know if this guy. Install Epic Launcher. In the default install location, copy your existing version of the engine. However, rename it so that is not match the TP naming convention. My case name. Open the launcher and proceed to download the version of the engine you need. In my case was 419. What is started downloading, pause the download and close the launcher. Click OK. When it prompts you the closing, you cancel the download. You should now see a newly created folder in your existing name file. This guy is pretty smart, by the way. Delete the new created engine file and rename the one you copied back. So yeah, it's basically switching, the engine. It's switching the engine, behind the behind the scenes. So it's switching the engine on the fly. It's switching the engine on the fly, boys. I mean, there must be a way to point the engine, but I searched this so many times, and never found it. I searched this so many times, and I never found it. But for example, now this launcher should see, that we have this kind of engine installed, but where is writing then? Where is writing then he has this engine installed? I don't know. We are at 1.3 giga, so we are at 32%. It's going fast, but I mean, it's pretty stupid. I have to download a full engine just for this. Why there is no direct download? I mean, like if I'm in the marketplace, why there is no direct download for the marketplace? Why I cannot download directly? Yeah, how do I download it? Yeah, exactly. I can only add it to a project. I want to download it. Exactly. You can only add it to a project. Fuck. Hmm. This guy is saying yes, you have to create a project and add the stuff to your project. Oh my god. Really? Really? I think we have to wait that it finishes. There is no way. There is no way. It is so stupid anyway. Why don't do what? I mean, while I'm in the launcher, like for example here, so I have this, I don't know, advanced admission and naughty something. Why I cannot just download it? But I cannot download it. I can only, because if I click, like this is advanced locomotion, for example. Cache size 98 mega. You see, because it sees it somewhere, but for example, here you can create a project, but you cannot download it. Remove local content. Where is this local content? I want to know. Where is this local content in my machine? Where is it? Where is it? Unreal Engine Marketplace. Local content cache. Where is it? Must be somewhere. It must be somewhere. Um, by default, the local cache use your engine derived data cache. Okay. Engine. I don't see any derived data cache. Property. It must be somewhere here, but I think it puts it under. Maybe it puts it under your app data or somewhere else. I don't know. It doesn't put it here anywhere. It doesn't put it here, but he has it. He has it because I downloaded it, so it's somewhere. Is somewhere. The problem of this Epic launcher data content cache. Well, yes, but what is the size of this thing is? 1 mega, 2 mega. These are just images now. Oops. These are just images, right? Yeah, no, these are just the images. I mean, it's so ridiculous that I cannot get a file that is on my PC. A file is on my PC, I cannot get it. How come you are using a compiled version of the game rather than from the launch? Yeah, the reason is that we have, we have the need to compile a specific version of the engine because we may do changes to the engine. So we compile it because we also we may need to do changes. Now, actually, we didn't do any big change recently, but like in the past, I had to do some changes, for example, to the FBX importers because the FBX importers were not working properly, and so I had to do some changes. Then the second reason is that having all the sources when you go in debug mode, you can you can debug the game, you can debug the engine side as well. So let's imagine that you have a problem or a bug or something visual that is not working as expected. From Visual Studio, you can open up the full source code of Unreal, and you can debug through the Unreal Engine source code, which is pretty good. If you use a predefined engine, I mean an executable engine, you will not be able to do that. I mean, it's a way, but I find pretty stupid that I have stuff in my PC and I cannot easily find. I mean, I cannot easily know where is it. Right? Like here is 32 megabytes, so it's impossible that it's here. It's not here. It's not here for sure. Epic Games. It is 4 gigabyte. This one is pretty big, so it may be somewhere here, but I don't find it. So if I search, because there should be like this property tool, like this property thing, it should be here, but it's not here, you see? It's not here, so I don't know. We have to wait this download to finish. There is no way. We have to wait this download to finish, and when it's finished, it will download the property transfer tool to that engine, and then hopefully we will be able to get that plugin and move it to our Unreal. I mean, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And then we will have to recompile the engine, because unfortunately it is changing. It is changing stuff. Can I do a search on my wall PC of property? So, it should be somewhere here, but I don't know. Where is it? Maybe it's under my app data somewhere. So, but if I go to the launcher settings, right? Isn't there a way to say, apart from Fortnite, but can I set the directory? No, I cannot set anything. This launcher is super slim. Edit is here. Edit vault cache location. Okay. Warning: existing content, new location will recur as that. Okay, so this vault cache location should be here. Vault cache location. Advanced anim starter pack. Add-on content example. Water. But this is not enough, because like water, okay, but anim starter pack. Yeah, something like that. I mean, this one has. But anyway, it seems that he has. Like, for example, advanced locomotion is here, but you see it is all empty. All these directories are empty. I have advanced locomotion here, but there is nothing in it. I think this cache is weird. I mean, it's like working. How big is this advanced locomotion? It's 84 megabyte. No, the size is okay. The size is exactly what it is, but why this directory is completely empty then? 74 megabytes. What is this 74 megabyte then? I don't see any items here. No items. Because probably it's filtering somehow. Wait. No, I think the stuff is here. The stuff is here. I'm sure the stuff is here. The stuff is here, but I don't see. Wait. The stuff is here. But for why I have only advanced? Yeah. See, the project is here. So advanced locomotion, for example, is here. And the blueprints, is here. But like, why there is no property tool? Let me search property here. Maybe Nothing, huh? Okay. Vault cache. But this vault cache seems to be the place. So it's under my C program files, Epic Games Launcher Vault Cache. It seems to be the place. There are a few, like there is Advanced Locomotion, there is an Anime Starter Pack, an Atom something, Counter Exam. But I don't know if this is created only when you add something to a project the first time. I really don't know. Still downloading, boys. I don't know what to say. Show logs, support, troubleshoot, use proxy, hide game library, enable debug, run my pistol, language. Yeah, it's not much we can do, but I really want to see where this thing is going. I still need to. We are not too far, eh? We are at 3.3 giga out of 3.8, so we are missing only 500 megabytes. So it should be, and it's going fairly quick. It's going at 3 megabytes per second, 4 megabytes per second now. So I think in 5 minutes we have it or something. But this thing is very stupid. I mean, the fact that you need to download something. How do I see if I have something downloaded? Like in my library, if I go in my library, right? It says cache size 89 megabyte on this one. Like water material, it says also cache size 91 megabytes. So you see, I think it creates the cache size only the first time you add it to a project. Probably I already added this to a project, and so he kind of, you know, he kind of created this cache. But if you don't do it the first time, it's not working. These are all the free assets that we got from the marketplace. So we have quite a bunch of assets that we can use. I mean, not that we're gonna shoot, but in our library we have quite a number of. If like look at this effects, for example, magic effects. Seems to be nice. But you see, like this one, we have it, but for some reason it's not in the cache. Hello, Abedin. Yeah, it's nice to see you as well. What have you been doing in these months? What have you been doing? Myself? Yeah, mostly playing Dota. Okay, we are waiting the finishing of the download. 3.6. We are very close, boys. We are very close. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, just to recap for the people maybe connected now, because now starts to be a better time for US, and we have a lot of people following from US. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to integrate the Advanced Locomotion system, which is a very nice plugin made by one guy, into our Unreal Engine, our plane shift project, right? The problem is that it's made of many pieces. There is the schema that we created. So our plane shift Unreal classes are made of basic character, which is the one of Unreal, a C++ class holding some of the properties, and then a blueprint class. Okay. Now, I would like to put in this blueprint class all the functionalities of Advanced Locomotion. And And so we already, I mean, the advanced locomotion is made of 3 basic pieces. So the base character, the interface, and then they have a sample mannequin character example. So in the last 2, so these 2, there is nothing that we should do actually. So we just keep them as it is and no porting. Unfortunately, the core of the system is in this thing, and it is the one that I'm trying to port, as you see by the purple arrow, into my PS character blueprint. And we already did some of that. So we ported like the variables, and I was starting to port some of the macro functions, but then I realized that the macro functions were really too many, really too many, and porting them manually will take me hours. Well, maybe 2 hours, I don't know, 3 hours or more. And so I said, what about finding a tool that is copying this stuff for me between one blueprint and another? And so actually we found it. It's called property transfer tool, which is a very nice tool. The problem is that if I try to install it, it's telling me that I don't have an engine, a compatible engine, because it's not seeing my compiled from source code, kind of engine. If I ask him so the only way for me has been to install a default 422 engine, right? This is what I'm doing, even if I don't need it because I already have it. But I installed one so that the freaking launcher sees it. I mean, overall it's not bad because we have an engine which is clean, and we may use it for testing purposes. So we may use, yeah, we may, I mean, it's not bad. We may use this. I think we downloaded everything. I think what it's doing now is probably unpacking or something. 81%. Come on. Well, it was fairly quick. If you think that we downloaded 4 gigabytes, I mean, it's pretty good. I have a good internet connection. And this is also what allows me to stream. Otherwise, it would not be possible. Okay, should be done, right? 385 out of 385. I don't know if you can read it, but it's a bit small. But now we should somehow unpack it. I have a lot of space on F, so should not be a problem. This drive should be pretty big. Let me see. Not too much. Anyway, we have 496 gigabyte free, so it should be enough. But in case I have another drive attached somewhere, I don't know, the E drive. I think the E drive is even more. Yeah, the E drive has 2 terabyte available, so it should be fine. In case we need space, we have space. So now we should install this thing, and then it should. I just hope it doesn't mess up my default variables and environment and everything else. But by purpose, I downloaded it on another drive, so I downloaded it. Where did we put it? On F, right? F, Unreal Engine 422. There it is. So now, when it's downloaded, which I hope is soon, we should be able to see a plugin directory, and inside this plugin directory, I hope there will be this property transfer tool, which we will then take and copy to our engine and compile it. That's the idea, hopefully. The problem is that I don't know if it does other operations, like if it's doing other operations apart from just installing the plugin directory. But when it does that, I think in our local cache, we will be able to see it, I think we will be able to see it. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm here. Yeah, he's unpacking all the stuff. In fact, we have seen some directories appearing here. Well, the good part is that we have a clean engine. So if you want to do any tests, we can use this engine. I hope now the launcher doesn't mess up with my engine, but should be fine. You should be fine. And Abdini, you should look at the stream of yesterday. Yesterday there's been an art stream by Zwei, and I think it was very nice. He showed some of our art assets, and he showed the Cliros City and a few other places, and it's pretty nice. Epic Game Launcher. Do you want to? I don't know. I want, but don't mess up my real engine. Okay, finally is installing this property transfer tool, which is actually 6 megabyte only. So we downloaded 4 gigabytes to get 6 megabyte of files. 2019, so funny. But anyway, so it's downloading it. Okay, you have no tasks. Okay, it did it, right? It did it. So I think that now we will see that probably there is okay, time to install to engine. This we did already, right? You cannot install this plugin, it's already installed in all compatible engines. Okay, so basically saying that he installed it already, which is nice. Now the point is, how do I know what the hell he did? Plugins. Okay, now we will never find it, I guess. Now we will never find it, I guess. Oh my god. How do I know where he put it? Property? How do I know where he put this plugin? That is stupid, boys. It is very stupid. Okay, so it says that he added this plugin to this engine. Okay. So, well, in theory, I could open my project with this engine and do the copy. This is not exactly what I want to do, you know. There is many properties: property visualization, property tracker. Maybe it's better if I search for transfer. Let me search for transfer. Transfer. How do I find it? How do I find the plugin that was installed from here? How do I find it? Install to engine is already installed. Okay, it's already installed. How do I see how it's made? That is so stupid, by the way. Code module, PTM tool. PTM. Oh, it's called PTM tool. Okay, that's a good news. Let me see if we have a PTM something here. PTM. Okay, we have a PTM tool under where is it? Under engine plugin marketplace. Engine plugin marketplace. Okay. So we have a PTM tool here. It's made of. There are also binaries already made. So I think I can just copy this directory to my engine and see what happens, right? intermediate build is already built, but we also have the source code. I think it would be very nice to understand how they do it, because we can extend it if you want. But PTM tool, PTM main widget. I don't know if I want to open it now, but I think that's it. You know, there is the, so maybe if I was searching on GitHub PTM tool, maybe we would find it. You know, let me search for GitHub PTM tool. PTM tool. I think it's this one probably. README PTM tool. No, it has nothing to do. PTM tool. I just wanted to know if we could find it somehow, you know. It's a Java app, has nothing to do with this. No. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. So let's assume that what I have in that directory is everything that is needed, you know, to do the thingy. So let's copy this. Let's take this under plugin marketplace, right? I put it in my engine. My engine is actually here. Engine plugins. There is no marketplace here, by the way. You see there is no marketplace directory. Unreal Engine plugins. Unreal Engine plugins. Marketplace is here. Marketplace is not here. Okay. It's fine. We can create it, I guess. And we can copy this PTM tool. Okay, I copy the PTM tool into my... Maybe I should close this. Do I need to change all of this? Yes, change it. Okay. Okay. Now I have this plugin here. Now let's launch the engine again and see what happens, okay? I hope it's compatible. I don't know, but I hope it's compatible. I hope it's okay. I hope it's compatible. The only difference is that my engine is 422.1, while the one that I downloaded is 422.3. And I don't know if that plugin has been compiled with 422.3 and so it will not work. That I have no idea. But in theory, you know, the minor version should only be for bug fixing, so should be compatible. There should not be any major change. New plugins are available. Nice. Manage plugins. Blueprint Property Transfer Manager. Nice. Simple editor tool to help streamline transferring properties. Is not enabled. You may need to restart the program to change. Yeah, I want to enable it. Unreal Editor must be restarted for this plugin change to take effect. Okay, no problem, boys. As long as it works. No! And no! Okay, so it's saying that these modules are built with a different engine version. GG. Okay. It's asking me if I want to rebuild it. Yes, I would like to rebuild it. I think I can rebuild it. Do you want to rebuild it now? Yes. Yeah, because that tool was built for 422.3. That's why. This is exactly what I was saying. Now, Now, I don't know if this is recompiling the whole engine or is recompiling only the plugin. I hope it's recompiling only the plugin. I hope so. Did it finish? No, it's still compiling. Compiling C++ source code 0%. 0% is a very promising percentage. But I think I can compile it also from here, right? Because I think that if I generate project files, I should get it here under plugin. Should be listed here, I guess. PTM at the moment is not listed, but plugins. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think I should generate. Anyway, it's doing something. I think it compiled it, boys. I think it did it. You say it's enabled. Okay. There is also a documentation link. Okay, so yeah, it's on my other screen, but anyway, it's very simple to use. So, okay, the plugin is enabled, boys, in our engine, so that's what we wanted to. So let me open up one. So what we need to do, we need to copy between our PSALS base character, right? Yes, we need to copy between this one and that one. No, what is this thing? PSALS base character. This one is not the one we want. This one is something that was created. PSALS base character. No, I think it's just a copy. I think it's just a copy. It's the same. It's the same one, just copied over. One second, I'm just searching. I think I had a switch for camera jump. Yeah, I did it on this one. Okay. So how do I use this tool now? How do I use this tool? Well, the documentation doesn't say much, but it says this. Documentation is saying this. So there is a video. I want to move the variable. I think it starts at a certain point. Here it is. So there is the thingy. The problem is that I can use a waste of time. Okay. So I have a plugin to do it. Profit Transfer Manager. See how to use it. Okay. It's opening. Plugin adds a new toolbar button. Okay, we have a new toolbar. Here it is. Transfer. Okay, it's this button here. Transfer Manager. So function transfer, property transfer. I want macro, boys. We were promised there was also a macro one. Oh, nice! Look at this! Oh my god, I'm so excited that if this works, we are good. Okay, so ALS base character. ALS based character, yes. I don't know if I need to have the blueprints open or not. Hopefully not. Select the target. Selected as target. No, selected as source. Do I need to open it? Yeah, I think I need to open it. Then my target is PS character. Okay, so it takes the one that you have open and you go select this target. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So this is so nice, boys. It's so nice. It's going to save us so much time. You have no idea. So let's delete this one, which is the one that I added manually. But I'm going to. So we have 0 macro at the moment on this thing, right? So now, if I want to copy all this macro, what should I do? I do this. Peak selected. What is peak selected? Peak. What do you mean by peak? I don't know. I click. I want all of this. Yeah, I want all this macro, which I think is all the macro that we have here, right? How many do we have? We have 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 17. We have about 25 or so. 6, 9, 10. Yeah, it's about 25. Okay, this seems to be all. So if I do pick selected, what does it do? Okay, moves them here. Why some are yellow, some are red, some are green? Uh, Let me just check in the documentation again. So what is the color coding thingy? Is there a meaning for the colors? Or? No idea. Like some already existing, or switch is moving. Switch is moving. Because it's the one that I had before and it didn't compile yet. I see. Okay, let me redo it. So now if I save it, the switch is moving should not be there anymore, right? Okay. So if I do this, and I do, no, this one selected as source. Wait. What is going on? Maybe you have to open it. When you open it, yeah, you have to open it and then click. Otherwise, it's getting messed up, but it's fine. So now that I select this, all of this, they should not. They should be all blue. Yeah. You see now they are all blue. Okay, so I do because it was still having in memory the previous version, the previous thing. So I do pick selected. So I see all the greens here, and I do apply. Copy picket function from source to target blueprints. Yes. Yes. Wow. It did it. Wow, it did it, boys. Oh my god, this saves us so much time. You have no idea how much time it saved us. You have no idea how much time it saved us. You have no idea. The only problem is that I don't know if it's correct. You see here, for example, there is a bit of a mess. A wildcard, B wildcard. Let me just check if the let me see if it's the same. Okay, so let's go do if different byte. Let me check on the original one. No, it's identical. It's identical. This little gray thingy was making me a bit nervous, but it's exactly how it is. Seems to be identical, so it seems that it really managed to copy the functions properly between one and the other. Wow, why they don't put this plugin in the engine? It's beautiful. It's insanely beautiful. They should put it default in the engine. It's so nice. It's so nice. Why is it not included as default? Okay, so we copied this. It seems to be all okay, huh? It seems to be all okay. Wow, look at that. Wow. Imagine doing it manually. Holy moly. Holy moly. And now the best part. The functions. Wow. The functions. But I also have the graphs though, because I have so yeah, because in our mission we have the variables which we did, the macros which we did. Okay. So variables are done, macro are done, but now we miss functions and graphs. So functions seems that is supported. So if I go here, let me close this. So I go to transfer, right? And I go to function, and then I open the one I want as a source, and I click on select source. Okay. Then I open the one that I want as a target, and I click on select target. Okay, that's the way to do it. Now, which functions I have? Because advanced locomotion system. I mean, yeah, all of this. I need all of this. So calculate is basically all of them, right? All the, except the construction script. Yeah, but all of those I need to copy. All of those I need to copy. And then I do apply. Yes. Now, considering I already have the ouch. Something went wrong. Maybe we can do function by function. Can't save UAsset game autocategory UAsset graph is linked to a private object in external package. Is linked to a private object in external package. What does it mean? External object is locally controlled in the network admin instance which allows split mode with no. I don't understand what this means. Anyway, it couldn't save it because it couldn't compile probably. But the fact it couldn't compile is not a problem, you know. But it looks like it copied all the functions because you see under advanced locomotion system here we now have in our blueprint all the functions. So it did the job. Now there are some functions that are probably not good, and we have to understand why. Like you see, there are few problems here and few problems here. Set movement input. I think these ones are okay. Let me go in the original one. Yeah, these are elements of our graphs. These are elements of our graph. So exactly. So like under networked events, we had all this stuff. Now the problem is that this one I think we'll call some functions as well. So I think what I need to do, I need to copy this. But I would like to make a new graph, because if I do it in the same graph, I think it will become a mess. I think it will become a mess. I think I can create two new graphs. Let me try to add a new graph and call it ALS. And inside this ALS, let me try to copy this and see what happens, okay? Yeah, it does a bit of a mess actually, if you do it this way. I mean, it's not a problem to have this. Oh, he copied also the part inside of it. That's nice. Okay. So he copied also all the content. The only problem is the only problem is that he didn't reuse the stances, you know? That is no good at all. Why? In use pin and name no longer exists. And this one is here, so why you are complaining about it? ALS movement mode. Yeah, but ALS movement mode. Okay, because it was no. Why? I don't know what this means. The fact that the graph is linked to an external private object. Game Advanced Locomotion V3 Blueprints. ALS base character, get forward right vector macro graph. Get forward. Let's try to search this one. Get forward. Seems to be a function. Seems to be a function that is missing. Get forward vector. Yeah, but get forward vector is Get forward right vector. Why is saying that this one is not valid? Set ALS aiming to, okay, so let's go one by one, otherwise we will never find it. So this one is inside ALS events. The problem is that they renamed it as 2. I mean, it's not very nice how we renamed it, but it's okay. So here we have an issue, right? Like this ALS aiming, it doesn't like. I don't know why, but this set aiming is just above, So it's just this one. Set ALS aiming event. Yes, an ALS aiming. Okay, so why doesn't like it? Because target is missing. Set ALS. No, target is missing is normal. ALS aiming should be this one. So what's your problem, boy? I mean, I can detach it. Oh, okay. It's like if this function is missing this parameter. It's like if this function is missing this parameter. Set ALS aiming event multicast. I think it's this one, right? Why it doesn't like this parameter? If I remove it, yeah, it goes away. Set ALS aiming event multicast. Yeah, it's here, you see. He messed up somehow. I don't know. I mean, for some copy pasting, he kind of messed up. Unfortunately. I think if I copy the same, if I just redo it, like I do set ALS aiming event server, right? You see that is correct. So it's just that for some reason, what the fuck is that? Oh, yeah. For some reason, it didn't copy paste didn't work fully. So some functions are messed up, but it's okay. I mean, I can replace the one set ls rotation mode event server. The problem is that there are so many that I have to be super careful, because if I mess up, this will never work, and then it will take me days to figure out why it doesn't work. Are there many errors? No, like in this graph there are only 3 errors, which is this one. So this one is set ALS gate event server. Okay, this one is connected here, and this one is connected here. Okay, like on this one there were only these three errors, but I guess there are many more. Yeah, there are how many? A million. But I think is movement input velocity difference. For example, this one is a variable, right? This variable is one of the variables that we added. Is one of the variables that we added before, right? movement input. I don't know what is it. Maybe under movement system. Movement input velocity difference. Here it is. Move. So for some reason it's not seeing this variable as the same as this variable. You see? But if I do something like this, you will see. The problem is that I have to do it manually, boys. Oh my god. So yeah, the copy paste is not a thing in Unreal. Copying between functions is not a thing. I mean, you can do it, but then you have to fix. I mean, it's obviously easier to fix it like this manually then, but you have to go and fix it manually. Like, and also be sure you don't do any mistake. There's so many, but like running acceleration. If I do one mistake, it would not work at all. Running ground friction. If I do one mistake, and so on. So I should substitute all these ones. I think it's basically all the variables. Yeah, there are many, boys. There are really many. Another way would be to copy the graph first and copy the functions after. The problem is I'm pretty sure that these graphs are calling a lot of the functions. So is like set actor. Look, no, this one is not a. Yeah. Anyway, I have to do this work. So the work is to clear out all these variables, all these methods, put them again in place, taking the real version and redoing the connections everywhere here. Do I want to do it now? I don't know. Do you want to do it now? I have no idea. And if I do one mistake, I'm fucked. That's the problem. I mean, it's not that I don't want to make it. It's just that the fact that I have to manually pick methods, and there are many methods that are named exactly the same, is scaring me a bit. Because like this one, set ALS rotation mode event. There are like 3 of them. One is normal, one is multicast, one is server. I have to click the right one, which is multicast, but if I do a mistake, it will not work. So I'm thinking if there is a better way, I'm trying to understand if there is a better way. I mean, the good thing is that I copied everything, so that we are not missing any pieces. We copied all the macro, all the variables, all the functions, and now all the graphs. So like this one has no connections. And ragdoll multicast. I mean, it's not an easy job, boys. It's not an easy job. I mean, it's easy. Actually, the job is easy, but because considering the functions are getting used inside the graphs, and the graphs are calling some of the functions, there is no clean way to actually copy this stuff and not getting errors. That's the problem. There is no clean way. Toggle caption. Arrow visibility. multicast hidden. I mean, I hope that some of these errors are like generated by each of these pins. So like now if I'm putting this one, I should resolve like so many of the errors just because. So it is connected to montage, it is connected to in-play, it is connected to in-time, it is connected to stop, and it is connected to this. Okay. So maybe this one solved like 6 errors, hopefully, you know. So maybe is less than what I'm saying, but I still see, you know, a million errors here. Look at this, it's like 100 or something. 200 it says, 200 issues, because it stops at 200, but probably it's more than that. It's probably more than that. Set ALS tense event crouching and set ALS tense event standing. Scout tough, boys. Can you check if I'm doing any mistakes? You should check if the name of the function is the same and if the variables are the same, the values are the same. Otherwise, the problem is that I cannot save it, because when I try to save it, it's saying that it's not working. So I cannot save it because it's so broken at the moment after the copy. Hello, Sing. Welcome. Like this one, which problem he has? This blueprint is not. I think it's the same. It's just the fact that he cannot call this function because he thinks that this function. I don't know. It's just because this as movement input is not the right variable. So copying variables between blueprints is messing up. Definitely messing up. I should not click on save. Set ALS movement mode. Set ALS movement mode event. Set ALS movement mode event target blah blah blah, and they should have only one input and it should be ragdoll. And this one should go here. Okay. There are 2 more errors here. To ragdoll servers and ragdoll server. So to ragdoll server. To ragdoll server, target self, nothing else, but this one is connected to what? It's connected to that and connected to this. And here is unragdoll. Server connected to ground and connected to this. Super scared to do this manually, boys. But anyway, I hope I don't do mistakes, but okay, the errors became a bit less, 190 at least. Set camera. Okay, these one are the variables that are actually on. So all the camera thing, I think we can disable it because at the moment we are not using the camera. So should I just remove it? Maybe I can just remove it, boys. Maybe I can just remove the camera system because we are using a different camera system. I mean, this camera system is very interesting, so I think we may copy some of that, but at the moment I think it's causing more hassle than anything else. So all this camera system too, I think I will delete it. I deleted it. So okay, so these one are the ones that are. Oh, this one has a lot of connections. One from here and one goes. This one goes there. It goes on the reset, and it's a set gate, set ALS gate event. So this one should go here in the reset, and it should have sprinting as a value. Okay, and nothing else. And this one is the same, with the difference that it has running instead of sprinting. This one is coming from here, and is going back into this reset. And this one is running. I really don't like doing this manually. I think we have no other chances, boys. Update ragdoll servers. Update ragdoll server. So this one. Oh my god, these inputs are weird. So the first one is actual rotation. Second one is actual location. This one is ragdoll velocity, and this one is ragdoll location. Okay. Is it still connected to something? No. These are the only four. Okay. Okay. Trying to solve it one by one, but boys, it's taking a lot. These are all the variables that are fucked up. These are all variables. These are all variables which are fucked up. So I don't know if there is an easy way to, because these variables, you see, if I go here, it says something like, yeah, no, you cannot save it. You say something like, could not find a variable named blah blah blah. This blueprint itself is not an ALS based character, because when it does the copy, inside the variable is somehow keeping the reference to the previous blueprint, so to the ALS character blueprint. That's why it's doing this mess. Actually, the variable is exactly the same name, and we have it here, right? We have it, I don't know, somewhere here. Character creation. We don't have it. Well, we have character rotation. Character rotation arrow, I think, is something that was set on the actual character. Character rotation we have is this one. You see, it's exactly the same. The difference is that he has a reference to the right blueprint. So, like, yeah, looking rotation, it's exactly the same. Target location, target rotation. All these ones, if I substitute it this way, it will work. This target rotation arrow, I think, is an arrow component object that I don't have in my character, but was in the other character. But for now, I think I will leave it, but I need to think what to do. I need to think what to do with that. I don't see this one. Last velocity rotation. Okay, just because it's split. Yeah, just because it's split into 3. Now, these other errors, last velocity rotation, Joe. Now we fixed the input parameters. Now these other arrows are arrows. I think is if I go in the base character, yeah, exactly. You see these arrows? I think these arrows are additional components. Looking rotation arrow, target rotation arrow, character rotation. I don't know why he has all this stuff, but he added this stuff to, I don't know to do what. We have to investigate a bit. But I think that these ones are actual components that are added to the character. I think these are actual components, yes. Which we probably need to we need to port as well, or we need to ignore. But it seems that at the beginning, that is when we set the arrows. I think it's another variable. Arrows, there it is. Arrows is like scene component which keeps all these arrows together. Yeah, you see? At least 3 of them. At least 3 of them are part of this component. I mean, now if you want, we can copy this component to our character. The point is, I don't know if why is he using all these arrows, by the way? I don't know. Why is he not just using the facing direction? I mean, why is he using all of this? Because this is making the porting of this system a bit harder, because there are all these arrows. Maybe because you can rotate it in a different way. If arrows is visible, set arrows values. Set rotation of the arrow component. This helps to visualize the value of the essential variable during gameplay. It's basically a debugging tool. I see. But when I run the system, do I have those arrows? I don't remember if I have those arrows in front of me. It will probably not work at the moment, but yes, I have the arrows here. But when I walk, I don't think I have the arrows, right? When I walk, I don't have the arrows, so... but is this, okay. When you toggle the debug... When you toggle the debug, you see these arrows. So that's the thingy. So it's a pure debug system. I don't think we need it. I think we can remove it. I mean, it's nice, but what do you think? I think all this arrow system is very nice, but for now we don't need it. And I don't want to add all those arrows to my character. So you know what? All this thing, delete it. Easy. If you want, I can put a comment here. Arrows were set or debug. So I can leave it like this, but we don't need all of that. All the debug I think we can remove, and then we can debug maybe, or we can add it on top later. Like this is camera, you know, update camera event, camera. I think we don't care, so I can remove this because we have our own camera. Yeah, also this is made for aiming. We don't have any aiming, so I think I can remove it. This one I think we need. Why is not liking this? Switch ALS aiming. The same problem. It's the same problem. But so it means that all the macros will be fucked up. Oh my god. Could be. Since that aiming is something that they are still working on it, because it's like arrow update camera event send value update camera event offset arrow and text location. This is again on the arrows. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need any of this. I don't think we need any of this. And by the way, if we can simplify it, I think it's even better, you know, because at the end there is another update camera event, which we don't care. So we'll just connect this to this. I remove this. I need to substitute variables everywhere, boys. The number of errors reduced drastically. Can I save it now? Oh, sorry, I'm not in the right one. What the hell? I was looking at the wrong one. Why this one was giving an error of this is moment? Why this one was saying? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I was here and I okay, it is still speaking about arrows, setting in game, toggle capsule visibility. This is the visibility of the capsule and the arrow. So I don't really care about this part. So we can remove the arrows. It's fine. Wow, all of this is broken. Wow. When I click on that macro, it points to this macro. Oh my god. That is why it goes from one to the other, you see? Because considering the macro was copied, when I click here, it thinks is the macro on the other on. Oh my god, this is annoying. It's very annoying. It goes in ALS base character. From my PS character, it goes in ALS base character. That's very annoying. So this copying of the macro, it didn't really work actually. It didn't really work. But the macro were there, right? When I did this copy, the macro were there already. So why it didn't take the macro in my blueprint, but it took it from the other blueprint? That's the question. That's the question. I need to, unfortunately, I need to remake all of this. Even if there is camera settings. Again, we set the camera, we don't care, so maybe we can just remove it. I think we can just remove it, boys, for now. Target camera setting. There is all stuff to set the camera. You know what? Just delete it. Easy. Really easy. Smoothly lurk the current camera setting to the target camera setting. You see, there is so much, so much of camera management in this project. I think they should split it because at the moment it's very annoying. You have all this camera stuff, which is nice, but it's not really what the locomotion is about. I mean, I don't care about the camera. I care about having my character move properly. So I don't care about all this stuff. Update camera events. Again. Get FP camera. Set active camera based on view mode. View mode, first person, third person. Also this one is not, it's something that we have done in another way. View mode. I mean, all this view mode, I don't need it. I don't need a view mode. I don't need any of this. Limited the character rotation when aiming or in first person or moving or playing root motion to prevent the camera from spinning around the character. Is more camera thingy. It is more camera thingy. Switching, play root motion, switch eyelash rotation mode. Like, I don't know why, for example, this one is pointing here, right? Like this one has no errors and properly points to my PS character, but like this one is giving an error. This one is pointing here though. This one is pointing correct. So it wants ALS rotation mode. Okay, we can do this. As long as it stays here, it's fine. View ALS view mode. Like now it seems to be okay, but why before it was switching between my blueprint and the ALS base character blueprint? That's weird. Let's move. say the good news is that when I do a fix like this, since it's inside the macro, I'm doing a fix for so many other places, you know. So, and last movement, I just need to be sure I don't do any mistake of putting a wrong variable or something. But when I change one, I think I fix a lot of errors, because a lot of errors are exactly the same. Now, wow, these ones are annoying as well. Let me see if there are any easier ones. No. Like this one, you see, is going to the other class. This which is moving is going to the other class. I don't know why. It's a macro. This one, by the way, compiles properly. Still we cannot save, huh? Still we cannot save. Wow. All these variables all needs to be replaced. Believe it or not. So I need to take this, do this, do this, do this, and do this. And I have to do it for each one that is broken in this graph. I need help! I need help, boys. Last velocity rotation. Goes here, it goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. If I do one mistake, GG. We'll never find it again, you know. So it's like a Diablo hardcore mode. If you fail once, your character dies and you have to restart. Set direction. Direction set. Wow, so many. Looking rotation. This one is this variable, but it has to be split because he only wants to take the jaw. I think after I finish with this, I will try to really simplify it. So to really delete parts that are like related to camera, related to other systems, and like this aiming system that we don't need at the moment, and see if we can make the graph say, like minimal, you know. Um, like a minimal system. That's I think is the best way. Movement input. By the way, they are making a new version of this, so I will have to change it sooner or later. I will have to use the new version, so change this again. But I think it would already be nice if we can integrate this version that we have here with our character. Last movement input rotation. The only good thing is that we basically copied the whole graph, and so we have no pieces missing. So We are sure that we have everything. No, we are sure that we have everything. Okay. Slowly progressing. Oh yeah, this one is going up. Okay. There is also camera stuff, so I don't know. There is also camera stuff that probably we don't need. This one has no exit? No, no exit. So this one goes here, this one goes here. Yeah, I understand it's not very exciting for you maybe to look at what I'm doing, but anyway. I'm just streaming whatever I do. So even if it's not the best exciting content, but you know, you can just connect sometimes and see where I am, you know. You don't have to stay here, but hello Tua. How are you? I'm into I'm into a pretty deep task, which is to move the advanced locomotion system to our blueprints and do a merge. And this merge is a bit of a mess, I have to say. We still have 106 errors. Holy moly. So I'm into this thing and trying to do it, but boys, it's not very easy. ALS movement mode. I mean, it's easy, but it's a bit annoying. I already copied the majority of the thing with a plugin. The plugin really helped me, but still. You see, there are some that are going to the other side. I don't like this one. If I click, you see, I'm on PS character blueprint. If I click on this one, I go on PS base character. So it's like he's using the other function for some reason. It should not. So it's using the other, yeah, the function that is in the other blueprint. Like during the copy didn't really go well, and he messed it up. He messed it up something. They have to change also all the functions. Is a freaking mess. Last velocity rotation. I will fix these ones first, and then. Also this one, select is moving. You see it's going here. I don't know why it's going here. I think it's a freaking bug of the engine because it's not possible. I mean, it's. Yeah, it says dirty needs to be recompiled, but should not go here. Should not go here. It's not this function, it's the other one. Maybe. I don't know if there is a way to refresh it somehow, but. Set rotation offset to 0. This one is easy. How are you two, huh? What you doing in this period? All these wrong thingies. I will try to fix all the others first, and then if I really see, yeah, like these ones you see are not working properly, but I'm trying to fix all the others first, and then we will fix that, because I have the feeling that maybe it will go away. Maybe that error will go away. Wow, there are so many, boys. Set rotation multiplier. To 0? Okay, to 0. There are so many that are just is moving. Like this one is taking their own variable, okay, and this is kind of okay. I can change it. What? What? You crazy? Cannot place variable is moving in external scope switch moving. You see what is the mess? I think that some of these functions is seeing them as external, like they are not part of this blueprint, they are part of the other blueprint for whatever reason. So yeah, this copy thingy didn't really work well. I mean, it worked, but not very well. Like all these functions are pointing to ALS base character C. You see, it's saying this blueprint itself is not an ALS base character C. Therefore, target generator expanding blah 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 must have a connection. So basically, what I will have to do for this, I will have to like call the one. So I will have to do like switch ALS prev movement mode blah 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 and put it back. And put it back, and then basically I have to redo the graph. Then if grounded goes here, if ragdoll goes here, and this one now can be killed. And now this one is pointing properly to this one. So yeah, the copy didn't really work as expected. But the weird thing is some are correct, others are not. I don't know why. Oops. He did it again. I think there is something in memory fucked up. The problem is that I cannot save it. Because you see now, maybe if I close it. Maybe if I close it. You see, what I did, I just typed again switch ALS prev something, right? And I said in context, so this one should be the one, and in fact it's working, but then as soon as I compile it, it fucks up again. Oh my god. So it's kind of not fixable. Like macros, are macros global? No, it should not. Macros should not be global, right? Macros should not be global. I mean, I have the feeling that. I mean, I can rename those. I can rename. I can use a different name. But it seems to me that it still has in memory this thing. Switch ALS movement mode. So you see, this is what. Yeah. So it's complaining mostly about macros. So because these macros somehow are getting into the way, like is networked, for example, this one, right? This one, for some reason, seems that the engine is thinking that it's still on the other blueprint. Yeah, Tua, you should see the stream of yesterday if you didn't see it. That's the way it did. It was very good. It showed a lot of art and stuff, so much more exciting than my stuff, I guess. I think, guys, I think that we fucked up. I think we have to redo it. Or I think the only way is probably to copy the variables, save, then copy the macro, then save, then close everything, reopen, copy the functions and the graphs together, and save. Something like that. I don't know, because at the moment I'm in a deadlock. I cannot save because it's saying that this graph is not belonging to me. Well, I can delete the function. What I can do, I can delete I can delete the macro and copy it again. Yeah, maybe this is what I can do. I can. The problem is that this macro will continue to complain about it. Hmm. Or I change it with the logic that is inside the macro. You see, even if I change it here, ILS brief movement mode, even if I do this, and I put it here, and I fix this somehow, then it's still complaining about it. Well, not here. Oh, now it kind of worked. That is interesting. Grounded, ragdoll. This one should go away. This one we fixed now. So also, why this one now is okay? Switch ALS movement mode. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe what I need to do is to open it from the macro. Switch ILS movement mode. Yeah, but here is fixed. Here there is no problem. Hmm. Switch ls movement mode. This one worked. Select is moving. Select is moving. It's random, boys. It's random. I don't know. Sometimes it's working. Sometimes it's not. I don't know. It's moving. Like now, it sees the variable as a bad one, but it's not. So I substitute it. I save it. And now this one is okay. Yeah. Anyway, I think he has something in memory which is fucked up. I mean, his copy of macro really messed up the engine. I think he really messed up the engine. It may work maybe with one or two simple, but it really messed up something. So the fact they are called it. Anyway, at the end we fixed this. I don't know if it's identical to the one that. What is the name of this? Is on ALS movement mode change. On ALS movement mode change. Let me just see if I did any stupid mistakes, but I don't think so. But let's see. Are these identical? I just removed the camera event. Yes, I removed the two camera events that I didn't need. The rest seems to be identical. One difference is that this variable is replicated. Ouch! And my variable is not. This may be a problem. When I change variables, I need to be sure that the replication mode stays the same. Well, I will see the error, I guess, when I run it, because as soon as I run it, it will show up immediately if something is not working. But it will be hard to find out what is it. But it seems that we can continue. So it seems that we don't need to restart. It seems that we have a way to fix it. It seems that we have a way to fix it. Switch is moving. True and false. It seems that we have a way to fix it. The problem is that we need every time to re-enter all of those things. So it's not like redoing the whole graph, but yeah, pretty similar. Pretty similar. It's nearly like redoing the whole graph. All the macros are fucked up. I think there is some problem with the engine. Switch ALS view mode. That the macro are somehow messed up. First person activate. And they are felt as global because it seems that is like feeling like these are global. I just have to remember when I see those two small balls, these two white balls, that is a replicated variable. So like now when I'm changing it, character rotation, I have to do get character rotation and then click on replicate it. Well, in this case it did it automatically. I don't know why. I was lucky, but just have to be sure that it is actually replicated. It's pretty much like redoing the graph anyway, so it's not, I mean, it's helping me, but you see how many, you see how many, all this will have to be redone. Target rotation, target rotation, character rotation. Ah, when you set it replicated, it's set replicated forever. Okay, nice. You see now it's always getting the replicated automatically. Okay, that's nice because the variable itself is replicated. So I don't have to set it all the time. I set it once, and then it stays as replicated. So I don't have to set it in every node, but why I left this one. Target character rotation difference. Okay. It's a mess anyway, boys. It's a mess. Character rotation again. And target rotation again. I can just copy paste it. So character rotation is going here and here. And target rotation is going there. Oof. If you would just save, I would be a bit more happy, but because at least I'm sure I reached, a kind of a point where I can continue later on, but until it's saved, it's a bit annoying. Now we'll have to go dinner soon anyway, so I think we'll stop for dinner. I can continue later on, or I can continue tomorrow, but I really want to be able to compile this thing. Wow. Look at how many. Is this camera? No, this is really movement. So this one I need to do. Switch ILS stance. But this one, this switch. Maybe this one we can fix it just by changing this variable, huh? I think this one we may do it easy. We may do it easy because what was it? Fuck, it's going to this thing again. Yeah. He's continuously opening the other one. I know it's feeling like he's the wrong one. Switch ALS stance. I don't know really why he used all these macro. I don't know why he used all these macro and not just freaking putting the right values in place, the right code in place. As I understand he make it a bit more clean, but there is so much redirection. No, it's not this. There is so much redirection that I really hope I don't make big mistakes here. Switch ALS gate. Walking and running are going to the same one. Looks like. Okay, we have a problem with walking speed, and okay, we have a problem also with those variables. But let's do the nodes first, and then we will do the rest. So walking is going here, running is going here, sprinting is going here. It looks like a puzzle, you know. So it's like I'm doing a puzzle, like a video game, you know? Like I'm playing a video game to do this thing. Crouching speed, crouching speed. Crouching speed goes in a lot of places. It goes here, it goes here, and it goes here. I think it's a good system. Anyway, I like the system. So here, all these variables are fucked up. So walking speed, running speed, walking speed again, running speed again, and sprinting speed. Okay, so all of this have to be substituted. So this one will go away, this one will go away, this one will go away. So it's walking, running, walking again, running again, and sprinting. And so sprinting is connected here, this is here, this is here, this is here, and this is here. Okay, so we can delete those pieces that are not working. Okay, wow, this one we did, but boys, painful. Walking acceleration and running acceleration. They put it below, I prefer to put it up, but it's about the same. Switch ALS gate. Switch ALS gate. Attack. Walking. Running. Sprinting. There is quite some logic behind all of this, huh? How many errors we have left? Let me check. They were like 80 something. There are 64. 64 is still annoying, but we are slowly getting the walking deceleration, running deceleration. So this can go, this can go. Okay. This is the same one, switch ALS gate. Switch ALS gate. So the reason it cannot save at the moment is because it's still feeling that some pieces are belonging to the other blueprint. And so, let me see how many errors I fixed just with this piece. 3. So it's exactly 1 error for 1 action. So I have to do 64, not 61 more fixes. before this is completed, boys. 61 more clicks. Do you want to listen some plane ship music in the background? Can. You can have some plane ship music in the background, just so you know. So, walking ground friction. I know you cannot say. Okay. Target rotation. There are some that are simple to fix, other ones that are so. Character rotation. This one is here and here. Character rotation. And we have a set character rotation. Do you think I'm going faster with the music? Set target rotation. Target character rotation difference. I mean, I don't pretend you stay here. You can just come back in a few and see where I am. You know, I can tell you the number of errors left. I fixed quite a bit here, maybe 6 or 7 or 8, I don't know. We are at 51. Well, 51 is good. We are at 51. You can still hear me through the music. Looking rotation. I think looking rotation is camera anyway. Set rotation offset. Ah, this is a mess. Look at this. Okay, this part is easy because it goes here. But here there is a mess of thingies. Oh my. So this one goes into the input. This output goes here. Oh my god. Then this output also goes here. And then we have 3, that's correct, right? And exactly the same. And then we have 4 inputs, so all of those are going in. I hope it's identical, I don't know. Should be identical, but now all of these are wrong. Wow. Okay. Set cardinal, set cardinal, set cardinal. Cardinal, I think we are not even using this variable, but it's okay. So I need 4 of those. And then I need 1 north, 1 east, 1 west, and 1 south. Okay. In this sequence, it's a bit of a mess. I should do one by one. So this one is false, and this one goes here. Then this one is west, 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 west. Yes, true goes to west, and this one goes. Everything goes to the same place. And this is west. Okay. Then the east is this one, and then it goes here. Then the north is here, here, and here. Okay, we did this as well. We have so many arrows in this graph, like 1 million. Look at this. Last velocity. There are so many. Last velocity rotation. Last movement input rotation. Looking rotation. Select as movement. Okay. Select as movement. Select as movement. So this is false. This is true. The return goes here. Okay. I hope every pin is an error, so we clear the bit, you know. What is this? Cardinal direction angles. Holy moly! Let me do this one, which is easier. Cardinal direction. Get. These big blocks are a mess. Cardinal direction angle. Okay. Following this thing will be a mess. Let's say the middle one goes into the value of 3, so maybe I should do 3 actually. Maybe I should have 3 of those. Maybe I should have 3 of those. And I don't know what is the easiest way, but no. Okay, I have 3 of those. So the value is always the same one, right? Which is this one. So if I take this one and I put it in value, and value. Oh my god, that is tough. And I can disconnect it from here, this point. Okay. So maybe the lines are less of a mess. Now the min goes only into 2. No, one goes in. This one goes into the min here and to the max there. Oh my god. Okay. So the min goes into the first. This one is the first min. And he goes where? And he goes. No, wait. Oh my god. I already made a mess, huh? Okay. This one. Fuck. Took the wrong one. Okay. The min is this one. Okay, so it's the second. So the second should go into the min. Okay. The second should go into the min. And it goes into the max of the third. It goes into the max of the third. Okay. Then, so I can disconnect these two. Then we have a max, which is here, which goes into the max of the first and min of the second. Max of the first, min of the second. Okay. So I can disconnect max of the first, min of the second. Then we still have buffer. Buffer goes into buffer of all three. Okay, that's an easy one. Buffer. 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 Okay, so I can disconnect the three buffers. Buffer, buffer, buffer. I'm still missing one. I'm still missing this max and min. Okay, this one goes into the max of the second. To the max of the second. And I can disconnect it. And this one goes into the min of the third. Okay. By the way, now they are all covered, so it seems that we did it right. Now, this was really a mess. Now these three are going into the condition of these three branches in sequence. So the first with the first, the second with the second, and the third with the third. Okay. Then that's it. North, no, only the north, east, and west. North, east, and west. Why there is no south? No idea. But there is no south, so I can delete it. In theory, it should be identical. Okay, guys, I think I will stop here because I have to go to dinner, and what I will continue this thing, and I will clear out. Let's see how many errors we have left. 41. Oh my God, still a lot. Still 41 errors, but anyway, I will complete it, and I guess the next time you will see me, this work will be done. Okay, will be completed. So I will show up with this thing already done. Okay, I hope so. So you don't have to watch it. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you soon.